Hi guys, I'm Chris Horner and you're watching Chris Horner's Corner, brought to you by Linton Horner Coaching Racing. I'm here today to show you how to clean the bike. We're going to shoot this out fast. A lot of guys are scared on how to clean the bikes. A lot of people pay to drop their bikes off at the bike shop. I'm here to show you how to get it done in 10-15 minutes without any worries. Throughout my 25 years of professional racing, I can't tell you how many pros are scared to clean their bikes. So today, here's the first how-to. Welcome to Chris Horner's Corner. Alright guys, so here we are. We're getting ready to get the bike cleaned. I just finished an hour and a half bike ride and going up to the top of Skyliners and back down, and I'm on my way to NBC to shoot the Tour de France, leaving tomorrow. So I'm in a hurry. I need to get the bike cleaned. Best scenario, the way I always set up my garage, I keep one bucket. This bucket is set up just for doing bicycles. That's it. So I grab the bucket, head out to the side of the house, and I'm ready to start washing my bike. Important things, everybody wants to know what's in the bucket. You want 2 rags, preferably one needs to be clean, one can be older. I love working with the Simple Green. I got my diluted Simple Green to spray the bike with. This one will do for the mix with the bucket. One clean big sponge. These 2 smaller sponges, these are golden. You want the green on the side, only used for the chain ring, and the pulley wheels. That's it. Don't touch your frame with this green. It'll take the paint straight off, but it'll take the dirt right off the chain and leave you a shiny clean chain. So make sure you use these sponges, but only on the chain ring, and the pulley wheels. Keep that in mind. Always have those, keep them handy. In terms of brushes, what do I got? I got 3 brushes. This one gets inside the brakes. When I take the front wheel off, I'll show you, it'll clean up and inside the brakes. This one, absolutely fantastic, and its sole job is just to get in here on the cassette and get the grime out of the cassette. This one I like to do for right here on the chain rings, and I like to hit it on the wheels, and of course we'll show you that here coming up in a few minutes. So outside of your brushes, your sponges, and your rags to clean, you got your oils. These are my 3 favorites. Tri-Flow on the chain when I'm competing. I don't run it at home. I love it when I'm competing, or if I've got some serious bike racing to do. I like Tri-Flow for the chain. Right now, I absolutely love the Wax Lube. It works great for training. It keeps the bike incredibly clean. You can rub your leg up against it. You don't get that Fred mark on your leg. And you can actually just take a wet rag, wipe it off, reapply it after it dries, and it's ready to go in the morning. So that's absolutely fantastic. And that's good for about 2 months. You just keep applying it every 80, 100 miles ride or something like that, and then you reapply it, and you can just wipe it off with a rag. Now, WD-40, a lot of riders and a lot of mechanics think it's too thin, but I've used it my whole career. I'm absolutely in love with it, and it goes with me everywhere. I use it on my bicycles and my motorcycles. It sprays on, it works good, it cleans up nice. It's a fantastic oil, but not for the chain unless it's an emergency use. Otherwise, I use it on everything else but the chain. Wax for the chain when I'm training. When I'm racing, I like the Tri-Flow. That's all you need to get your bike clean right there. Good bucket, your cleaning supplies, your oils, and one last thing, folks. This is one of the most important things to make your job super easy. It will just clip on right here on the derailleur hanger. You'll pop this down, throw this right up in there, and that'll replace your cassette and allow you to clean this bike up in 10 minutes. It's going to be super fast. Stay tuned. Alright, so now you know, got all your supplies ready. You know what I'm getting ready to use. You got the bike in the stand, got the derailleur hanger in place. Most important too, also started off by putting it in the big chain ring. Set it up in the 2nd or 3rd cog in the back if it was back there. Pop the front wheel off real fast. We set the 2 wheels aside, just toss them on the grass. The night wheels don't hold up fine just by tossing them on the grass, no problem. Grab your hose. I love running the 25-foot hose, folks, for cleaning my bike for one good reason. I live in Bend, Oregon. It freezes here in the wintertime, so you have to always drain your hose. So I like a short hose. easy to work with, and when it comes to freezing at night, I can drain this thing after I'm done washing the bike in a matter of a few seconds, and then just wind it back up, and you don't have to deal with all the winding and kinks that a long hose will do to you. All right, so now you're ready to go. Everything's in place. You fill your bucket up. This is an Ace Hardware. I love this one for this simple reason. I don't have to hold it on, right? You can let go of it. I like it not with a lot of pressure, so that you don't want to do high pressure rinse your bike, because you don't want to wash all that grease out of those expensive wheels and hubs. And so turn it back a little bit. I can control the flow with this, have it soft or hard, however I want. Most important though, it's hands-free, right? So right now you got the bucket all ready to go. I drop it in the bucket like that, it keeps water. I pull it out, hose the bike off real quick and get it wet. Now while the bucket's filling, Simple Green's fantastic, biodegradable, pick it up just about anywhere. Spray the bike everywhere. Simple as that. This will set a little bit. Help break up some of that. Now this chain has been sitting there, and like I said, I've only been using the chain wax on it for the last 2 months, so watch how easy it cleans up. With nothing but Simple Green. Spray right on the derailleur. The bucket's just about full. Couple splashes of the Simple Green in there. That's it. Now your hose is off, and again, hands-free. I'll come over here. I like to get the wheels first because it gives them time to dry afterwards. Spray it down like this. Like that. Set the hose off. Take your Simple Green. Spray it right on the cassette. Bend the cassette a little bit. Get it on the hub. Just quickly over that. I'll use the green sponge, but again, don't touch the green onto anything on the bikes other than your chain. Dump it in there, do the tire first. Take your brush, real quick around like that. It's done, no problem. I'll take the sponge real quick like that. Again, not the green size. This sponge is fantastic. This brush, sorry, not the sponge, this brush, it's this way for a reason. It gets down there deep into the cassette. Takes off all the oil, or like I said, I prefer the wax right now because I'm at home training. My racing days are kind of behind me. Then I grab this little pointy brush, throw that inside there. Grab the hose again, turn it on. It's ready to go, folks. That's it. I'll set that aside now so it stays right there drying, and we'll do the front wheel. So again, I like to do the wheels first because they'll have time to dry while I'm doing the bike. And this is about 60 seconds a wheel, and I'm done. Honestly, folks, the hardest thing about cleaning your bike is the setup of bringing your stand out of the garage, getting it set up here next to your hose, and that's going to be your 5 or 10 minutes walking back and forth versus your 10 or 15 of actually cleaning the bike. So that's it, both wheels are done. We're setting right here together. I like to do it in the middle of the day when it's hot sun, and that stuff will dry off in 5 minutes. Okay, slightly, notice it's not on high, real nice and easy. Get the bike all nice and wet, and if you come in here and look real close, you can see this chain is, I've been running this chain for 2 months, riding probably 6 days a week at least, and that's as dirty as it gets with the wax of the squirt wax. So that stuff works fantastic, and even with it wet, you look at my hand and look how clean my hand is. That's what I love about the wax. For traveling, it's an absolute must. Training at home, I love it. Bike races, I'm gonna go with the Tri-Flow because I like the performance of it, but I wanna stay away from the mess of it when I'm back home. So wax here, oils when you're racing. Now watch how fast we'll clean this up. Now is when you use the green. Don't use the green side any other time except for right now. There's a reason why I'm using it just now. You can't scratch the chain. Now, it's in the big chain ring. This is not by accident. I've got it in the big chain ring on purpose because this is showing you how you can aggressively clean the chain and get it done at this quick and this fast of a pace. So here you go. I'll carry it out a little bit like that. Rotate the chain over. Wipe it down again. do one more little thing just to make sure, and this chain's looking pretty good already, and we're almost done. We're talking just a couple minutes here of work on a chain that's been ridden for 2 months. And we're talking, let's call it 5-6 days a week. 2-hour training rides right now, because there's no group rides, so there's no reason to be doing 100-mile rides at this moment. I'm just trying to train enough to stay thin. So that's about it. This chain here is almost done. And I'll let you get a close-up look at it here. And this is why I like the green sponge, folks, and this is why I like the wax at home, because it does an amazing job in a fast amount of time, and I'm ready to go. That's it. Look how clean that chain is right there, and we did that in under 2 minutes. The chain's all done. You still keep the green sponge in hand, because you got to do the chain ring real quick. Do the outside like this. Then we'll get it really good. Take it, grab the inside. We're gonna come back for the inner right in between here with one of the brushes, because the sponge doesn't work so good. Last time you used the green sponge is gonna be right back here for the pulley wheel. All right, both pulley wheels, top and bottom. That's gonna get that grime off. There's not much with the wax on the chain, but that's all done. We're done with the drivetrain. Now we're gonna take the brush here, pointy brush. This is to get inside the brakes. Okay, you can see the mess it's making, because there's a lot of gunk that gets into there from the road, and it really starts cleaning out, and you can see it just pouring off all the nasty stuff from the road, the dirt, the grime, and of course all the oils that the cars are leaving us. Come over here to the front, same thing, get it up in there, nice and good. Doesn't matter if it makes a mess, because we're going to come back there later with the sponge in just a few minutes here, and we'll pop that in there like that. And you can already see how clean that's, and that's with nothing but simple green. So we're not using any harsh chemicals at all. We'll throw this in there. We're gonna do the tight little spots still with this pointy brush here, because it gets in there, the nice little spots. It's gonna clean this up nice. This is Di2, Shimano Dura-Ace Di2 derailleurs and chain rings. And that's about it right there. Now we're gonna take the bigger brush. I like to get the pedals here, okay? You always get a lot of grime right in here, so just spend a little bit of extra energy getting right in here, and of course behind the pedals. Your feet are locked in here, so it's important to get this part clean, because you want to be able to engage and disengage at will when you're out riding your bike. You don't want to get locked into your pedals because they're dirty, so you do each side of the pedals with the brush. Front and back, of course. Now, I use this brush to get up in there in between to get a little bit of that grime out of there. Okay. I'll do this brush too, up here on the top. Grab the back just a little bit. Come up to the top part of the brakes. You can see where it's all dripping down here, all the nasty stuff, right? Don't worry, we're going to come back with a sponge and we'll have that wiped up in no time. So, come over here to the front. Do that. Now, throughout my career, this has been my technique all the time. And folks, I've used this technique for 25 years as a professional, and a good 10 years before that, from the amateur levels all the way up to I was pro. Normally, this part of the bike, the levers, especially with all the electronics and all that stuff, I don't spend much time getting water into there, but it's never really very dirty. So I take my sponge, just want to get the handlebars done here, where you get the sweat from your handlebars and your face dropping on there. But I don't use a whole lot of water, because I don't like getting it up in there. So just mainly on the bar tape up here. And now we're going to breeze through the frame real quick, like this. We get back here, especially back in here, because the back wheel dropped so much, and it was dripping so much dirt off of the brakes when we cleaned it with the brushes. So as you come through here, wind it in. Like that. Front part always gets a lot of dirt and grime from, especially if you're riding in groups. If you're doing the group ride often, you're getting a lot of debris up here just from the rider in front of you throwing some stuff up on you. And of course, if you're riding in the rain, your bike's going to be even worse. I've been in the sunshine and dry for the last 2 months, so the bike looks pretty good. And I've wiped it down with a rag occasionally here and there, but a real cleaning like this always does much better than just a rag with some simple green on it would do in the garage. That'll work if you're in a real hurry, but this, like I said, if you got a good 10-15 minutes, you can have your bike really pretty clean and running a lot smoother than if you're doing it in the garage. So that's about it right there, folks. We got that good. Hose it off. Again, this is on high pressure, but we got it on an easy spray. You're a little bit away, so you're not getting too much pressure into the cranks and stuff like that. Up top, spray it off. Run it through up close to the chain so you can get that all out of there. And your bike is washed and clean. Now all we gotta do is dry it and lube it up, folks. Take the 25-foot hose that I love so much, I'll wrap it out of the way. It's simple, now I don't have to deal with it anymore other than just turn the spigot off. Bucket, we'll set it aside. We're gonna save the water for now in case we find there's something we missed, but for this video, I didn't miss. Grab your sponges, we'll set it in there, everything will just sit in there and soak and be ready to go. Take your 2 rags. I like to start with 2 clean ones, it works out best. All you want to do is just wipe it through here, dry it off real quick. The bike is pretty much waterproof, but you know, if you dry it off, once we spray the lubes on everything, it's going to keep it from dripping all over the place. And the lube is going to actually work better because it's not going to have water affecting it while it's drying up, doing its job. So, wipe everything down. Bike's as dry as you need to do. Set 1 clean rag aside, grab the next one, come over here, I'll grab my 3 oils. We're not going to use the Tri-Flow, although I am a fan of it. We are going to use the WD-40, and later we're going to put the wax squirt chain on there after the wax chain lube, squirt chain lube on there after the chain gets a little drier, because it's going to work better and function and stay on there much longer. Take the WD-40, this one I love, easy, flex tip, you can spray everything. Folks, you don't have to get carried away with this, but if you watch how I'm using it, I get everything on the derailleur covered. You really want to miss the chain, but it doesn't matter if you catch right that little bit around there and you wipe it down. Wipe this off with your clean rag, okay? Super simple. That's about all you have to do right there for the derailleur. You take the little bit on the pedals right here so you can clip in and out without having them lock up on you. I'll do both sides, of course. Left and right, you got 2 legs, so you got to do both sides. Front derailleur, super simple. Get it in the little pivot spots. That's it. That's all the WD-40 you need for the derailleur, the pedals, the drivetrain. I do a little spot up here on each of the brake pivots. I like to do it with the wheels off because I can keep the rag in there and keep the WD-40 from rolling down onto the brake pads. Come over here to the front. You got a couple pivot points on these particular Dura-Ace brakes, so wherever you have pivot points at, you just want a little bit of WD-40 on there. Okay, that's it. Again, the rag is underneath to try to catch the WD-40 so you don't have it coming down and dripping onto your brake pads, and then of course affecting your braking later when you got a clean and beautifully riding bike. That's it. That's all the lube I need for the WD-40. I set it aside, let the chain dry a little bit more. I'll take the rag here to speed it up, but as you'll see, and come over here and look up here close on this rag. This is chain. You saw me clean it. Everything was in live time on the video. Okay? So I'm just coming in here and drying it. This is all you guys have seen. Anytime I've touched this chain from the moment it was dirty till now, you've seen how quick and easy it was. I'm rotating now, I'm just drying it off. I'm not even trying to clean, I'm just drying it. And look, that's what the wax lube does. That's what the squirt wax lube does. It comes out that clean and it's ready to go. And folks, look at this. That was less than 2 minutes time of cleaning it, and that's where my hands are. That's why I like the wax lube. All right, now really all you got to do is throw your wheels on and get them good to go. At this moment we don't have a whole lot of sun out, so the wheels are still a little wet, but if you do that in the middle of the day when it's nice and hot, these wheels will be pretty close to dry. They're not at the moment, so I take my clean rag, the one that I wasn't using the WD-40 on, wipe it down, and you could just let these things drip dry on their own, but you know, you're going to put it in your garage later. You don't want it dripping all over the place, so you're just going to go ahead and dry it like that. That wheel's pretty much good to go and ready to put on. Pop off your handy dandy chain holder guide. I'll just throw that in the bucket because everything in there will just keep getting cleaner as it's sitting. I'll throw the wheels up here. That's it. Spin the wheel. I can touch the chain, right? Because the chain is clean. I mean, look at that. Look at that. That's how clean the chain is. Okay, back wheel's in place. We'll grab the front wheel again with the clean rag. Go ahead and wipe it off. You want some clean decals on there. I'm running carbon wheels, so you might as well make sure they're shiny and beautiful because they ride that nice. We'll go ahead and wipe that thing down. That's it for pretty much for the rag now for the moment. Come over here, throw it in. Spin it around, lock it on. The bike is clean. Now, for the sake of the video right now, I'm going to show you how simple it is to put the wax lube on. Shake it up. They always recommend shaking it. The chain is pretty dry, so if you are in a hurry, you can do it at this moment. I personally prefer to just set it in the garage, come back to you about 2 hours later. But for the sake of the video, for you fans at home, so that you can see exactly how I'm doing it, you just throw the chain lube on like this. Okay, I do the inside, now I do the outside of the chain. That's it, it gets everything. Gets every link, we're good to go. That will actually sit, come in here tight, Garrett, so you can show everyone. You can see the extra wax, don't worry about that, that's not oil. That will dry up. I'll come back there and wipe it off with a rag and it'll be shiny and clean. And like I said, I was riding this chain for 2 months and it cleaned up that nice. Now that's it, folks. Your bike's ready to go. Assuming it was in good, proper running condition when you just needed to clean it, this bike's finished, and we did this in 10-15 minutes. Hi guys, welcome to Chris Horner's Corner. We're everything cycling. We got how-to videos, training videos. We're gonna dissect some of the bike races. I'm on my way to the Tour de France this year, working, commentating with NBC. We're gonna dissect some of the races and show you some of the techniques and why different teams are doing this and that. We want to teach you on how to ride your bike, how to enjoy riding your bike, how to work on your bike, and of course, what bike racing is all about. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe. Chris Horner's Corner.